Okay, I don't really know what this is. I haven't really been told much about what's happening here. Let's see. Oh, the complete truncated history of cyanobacteria. What does that mean? In 5 minutes or less. Wait, I have to give the entire history of cyanobacteria in 5 minutes. Wait, no, I'm not ready. Okay, so cyanobacteria. Okay, it's any group of photosynthetic bacteria that are single-celled, but they're often in colonies. So these can appear like filaments, sheets, spheres, coils, and they're found in a lot of different type of environments. Also, does this pronunciation actually help anyone out? So basically, if you like these things, or whatever that thing is, you have to thank these guys for it. So back in history, further back than that, even further than this, even further than that. Oh, okay, yep, So 2.7 billion years ago, give or take a couple 100 million years, what was happening on Earth was the Great Oxidation Event, which kind of sounds like a sale at a major department store. Anyway, what was happening on Earth is that the environment was going from a heavy CO2 atmosphere into a more oxygenated atmosphere. Now, it would take a couple 100 million years for this oxygen to stick around, and it would only stick around at a 21% capacity, which is what we are today. Sometime during the next billion or so years, an endosymbiotic relationship between the cyanobacteria and some sort of unicellular eukaryote happened, and I'm sure it kind of went something like this. And, you know, because life, well, whatever. This endosymbiotic relationship eventually evolved into what we know as a modern-day plant cell. So basically, a chloroplast has ancestral origins as a cyanobacteria, which you can see here in green. So, cyanobacteria is also known as blue-green algae, which is really a stupid name for it because it's not an algae. The purists, algae are actually a eukaryotic organism, which means that they have membrane-bound organelles and that their DNA is bound up in a nucleus, versus a prokaryote, which is actually what cyanobacteria is, that doesn't have these membrane-bound organelles, and its DNA is kind of just free-floating in the cell here. But cyanobacteria, another cool thing about it is that it has a bunch of different pigments to it. So the most unique of it is called phycocyanin, which is this blue-green color that is heavily associated with the cyanobacteria. You can see a picture here. That's not the only pigment that they have, though. They also chlorophyll A, which gives it that more of a green color. It has phycoerythrin, which is a red color, and that's the reason that African flamingos are pink, and sometimes the Red Sea is named the Red Sea because of red cyanobacteria. And there's also carotenoids that give it that orange, yellow, brownish kind of color. So lots of shapes cyanobacteria comes in. You can see here there's squiggles, there's dots, there's lines. That's because cyanobacteria is a phylum, which is a type of classification just below kingdom. So there's over 2,500 species identified, but it's predicted that there's probably about 6,000. So you can find them here and here, chilly. And here in the desert. Cyanobacteria are also found in symbiotic relationships with a lot of lichen or in plants. And in fact, you can even find it in some supplements, which I would never take because it can be not that kind of toxic. This kind of toxic. This is a list of all of the different types of toxins that you might find in cyanobacteria. You can see that they may affect the liver, the nerves, the skin, gastrointestinal, and a lot of different types of cyanobacteria toxins have been linked to ASL, or Lou Gehrig's disease. So you should never really do, if you see a cyanobacteria, this, or oh gosh, don't do this. What you should do instead is take a picture of the bloom if you can and notify your local or state government environmental services group. Basically, get out of the water. There's a lot of stuff that I missed in this 5 minutes or less video. A great place to start if you have other questions about cyanobacteria is cyanos.org if you want to learn more. Thanks for listening. This is a Green Mountain Conservation Group video narrated by Jill Emerson. Thanks for tuning in. Whew, that was tough. Holy cow.